Am I the a-hole for not wanting to give my dad another chance even after he started therapy? I, 17F, have never had what anyone would call a good relationship with my dad. From as early as I can remember, it's been tense, painful, and honestly traumatic. I've spent my whole life walking on eggshells around a man who treated me less like his daughter and more like his personal punching bag, emotionally, verbally, and sometimes even physically. My dad has always had a temper. When his day went badly, when something didn't go his way, when the world so much as breathed in a direction he didn't like, he took it out on me. I was his outlet, his verbal target practice, the person he knew he could scream at, insult, degrade, and dominate without anyone stopping him. He would call me a BTCH, a selfish shanty, a lazy good-for-nothing, and accuse me of only wanting him for his money, as if I had ever asked him for anything other than basic respect and peace. The irony? He didn't work some backbreaking job. He had a flexible schedule and spent most of his evenings on the couch, shoveling chips into his mouth and watching TV. But still, he made sure to remind me constantly how hard he worked to provide for us, as if his presence alone justified everything. Some mornings I'd wake up, still groggy, just wanting to make breakfast, and the abuse would start. My posture was wrong. My face looked annoyed. I didn't say good morning the right way. It didn't matter what I did or didn't do. He found a reason. Then came the punishments. Chores that were originally his suddenly became my daily responsibility. And when I did them wrong, made a face, or dared to mutter anything under my breath, the screaming would start. Or worse, he threatened to beat me, to break my legs, to teach me a lesson when we got home. And sometimes he did. He never left visible bruises often. Only once, when they lasted for days, but he was calculated. Smart. He knew just how far he could go without getting caught. Once, he kicked me hard enough to make me collapse, then later gave me money, like that somehow made it better. Another time, he smashed my headphones into pieces because I didn't hear him yelling at me from the other room. It wasn't just the violence. It was the constant, overwhelming control. The yelling, the chaos, the fear of existing in my own home, the panic attacks that made it hard to breathe. The nights I cried silently, wishing I could disappear. I tried confronting him so many times, tried telling him he was wrong, tried begging him to listen. But he never did. He'd cut me off after 10 seconds with "shut up" and go right back to the same behavior. I wasn't even a person to him. I was the emotional trash can of the house. He never once treated me like his daughter. I honestly think he loves the dog more than me. And even that, he blames me for. He claims he got the dog for me, but now says I'm selfish for not taking care of it, like it was another thing he could dump on me and hold over my head. Through it all, my mom was there. But even she couldn't stop it. Maybe she was too scared. Maybe she was just too worn down. She tried her best, but I always knew that when it came down to it, I was on my own. Now, my parents are finally divorcing. And after years of abuse and unchecked rage, my dad has suddenly realized what he's done. How convenient. He started therapy. And of course, he wanted me to go too. So now we're both seeing therapists separately. I agreed, not because I want to repair anything, but because I wanted someone professional to hear my story and validate that I wasn't just being dramatic. I've spent so long being gaslit that I needed someone to say, yes, that was abuse. Yes, your pain is real. Everyone, especially my mom, is telling me to give it a chance. See how it goes. Maybe he's changing. But I'm done. Even if he magically transformed into the perfect dad overnight, it wouldn't undo what's already been done. The damage is deep. It's permanent. It shaped who I am. I don't want visits every other weekend. I don't want Sunday brunches or texts that say, love you. I don't want birthday calls or family dinners or therapy breakthroughs. I'm done. I don't care if he goes to therapy for 10 years and turns into Mr. Rogers. I'm not interested in rebuilding a father-daughter bond that never existed in the first place. I'll still take my little brother to visit him, because that's the only connection I'm willing to maintain. But beyond that, he's just someone I used to live with. Nothing more. And yet, even now, I feel guilty. I feel the pressure to forgive. The voice that says, but he's trying now, echoes in my head. But why does he get credit for trying after years of deliberate cruelty? Why is his effort now supposed to outweigh everything he put me through? So, am I the a-hole for not wanting to give my dad another chance even after he started therapy? Edit. I can't express how much everyone's responses have meant to me. For the first time in a long time, I feel like I'm not screaming into the void. Like someone heard me. The pressure on my chest has lightened a little. And honestly, I teared up reading your words. Thank you.
Genuinely.
Thank you.